When you're using external tools as the type of assignment, such as Turnitin.com integration or Google Assignments integration, you will find that once you create the assignment, you can't add a rubric and to be able to grade them in Speedgrader. If that is something you want to do, there is a workaround. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to create an assignment. And when I create this assignment, you are just going to create it like you normally would. You type in any information up at the top here, like instructions for students, give them a link to a document, whatever that might be. Then down here at the bottom, you're going to have the points, the assignments, all of that. But for submission type, if you wanted to add the external tool, you normally click external tool. But our workaround to be able to add the rubric to use with Speedgrader, you can't choose external tool yet. You're going to choose something like online or on paper as your submission type. Then you are going to just do a due date, get it all ready to go, and then just press save. Don't publish it yet. Once you press save, you'll notice that you have the plus rubric option. If you added the external tool, you wouldn't have the ability to add the Canvas Speedgrader rubric. So that's why we did on paper first. Now I'm going to add my rubric, and I've already created a rubric, so I'm going to go to find a rubric, and it's this first one, CER. I'm going to click on it, scroll down, say use this rubric, and now my rubric has been added. But I want to double check something first. I'm going to click on the pencil and I'm going to make sure it has the settings I want. Like right now, it's not using it for grading. So if I want to use this for grading and have the score that I type into Speedgrader go into the grade book, I need to make sure I check that box. And I'm going to update my rubric. Okay, now, when you're doing an assignment that's on paper or a file upload, which is in the submitting part, students can see the rubric at the bottom of the assignment when they open up that assignment. If you use an external tool, even if we have this rubric attached like we do right now, and we're about to change this to an external tool, students won't be able to see the rubric as they're doing the assignment. There's like a back-end way that they can get to it by going into grades and like clicking on it there. But you want it to be something that the students can see while they are doing their work. So what I am going to do is I am going to take a screenshot of this. And I could have it, I have it in a Google spreadsheet, I could use that, but I'm just going to take this here. I shrunk the page down a little bit, so I pressed Command minus on a Mac or Control minus on a PC to zoom out a little bit so I could see the whole rubric. And then I'm going to take a screenshot. All right, so here is my rubric. I'm going to save it as a file. I'm using Snagit. There's built-in screen capturing on Macs and PCs that you can use. And I'm just going to title this CER rubric and save it onto my desktop so that I can easily add it into my assignment. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit my assignment. And up here, I might have like information about the assignment itself, like a link to the doc, the instructions, etc. But then after I have my instructions, I'm going to put rubric and I'm going to upload my rubric. So I'm going to add this as a picture. So I'm going to upload an image. And I can now, with the new rich text editor, I don't have to like upload a file elsewhere first. I can do it right here. So I'm going to upload an image and I can drag and drop or bring it in from my browser by clicking on it. And now my rubric is here. I like to have alt text. And so this will be screenshot of rubric in case I have students who need screen reading to be able to tell what the image is of. And then I'm going to embed the image. I can have it where students can click on a link to open it, but I like to embed it. So I'm going to say submit, and it takes a minute for it to show. There it goes. It's kind of big here. That's okay. You can like click on it and drag it a little smaller if you want. But then you have it ready in your assignment so students can see the rubric of how they're going to be scored. Now that I have my rubric visible to students, now this is when I'm going to change the submission type, and this is when I'm going to choose the external tool that I want to use. And so I switch submission type to external tool. I'm going to click on find, and then here you can choose Google Assignments, Turnitin, any of the different tools that you want to use. Maybe it's Gizmos, I don't know, whatever you want. I'm going to choose Google Assignments in this case. And I'm going to follow the directions that Google Assignments has me go through. Then my students will be able to see the rubric in the assignment. They'll be able to submit it through the external tool. And when I go into Speedgrader, I can grade it with my Canvas rubric and go through Speedgrader. As a side note, Google Assignments at this time, when it's used as an external tool and you are in Speedgrader, when you open up Speedgrader, normally you see the rubric on the right and you see the document on the left part of the screen. Google Assignments doesn't show you the document on the left side of the screen. There's a link that you click on and it opens in a brand new tab. So you could have the rubric on one tab and your document that you want to grade on another. So you'd have to split the screens. It's not ideal. Personally, I would not use Google Assignments at all right now because I love grading with Speedgrader and I want to use outcomes. And so I would just share a link to a Google Doc template where the kids click on it and it makes a copy for them. If I wanted to be able to comment on students' work, I would have a rough draft assignment that they would then submit, and I'd give feedback through Canvas and Speedgrader, and then they could resubmit with their edits or submit to a new assignment that I create that's titled Final Draft. But this process works great for like Turnitin assignments. You can grade Turnitin assignments straight through Speedgrader using the rubric that you upload.